Never do this after finishing. 5 critical rules for men's sexual health. Let's be honest with each other. After that moment of climax, what's the real emotion lingering inside you? For so many men, it's not joy. It's an overwhelming emptiness, extreme loneliness, and a crushing sense of guilt. You ask yourself, why does falling asleep after sex feel amazing, but sleeping after taking care of yourself leaves you feeling like a soulless corpse the next morning? You worry that you're single-handedly destroying your future, weakening your body, or even causing little brother to shrink over time. But here's life-changing good news. The problem sometimes isn't the act itself, but what happens in the crucial 15 minutes immediately afterward. One small mistake during this time can be a silent killer to your performance. In this video, we're going to expose 5 absolute taboos, from the devastating misconception about cold showers causing cellular tissue damage to the habit of going multiple rounds that's silently ravaging your prostate. Let's fix it right now to protect your manhood. Today, we're not going to speak in empty platitudes. We're going to sit down, look each other in the eye, and dissect an extremely private moment that determines your performance the next morning. That's the 5 fateful minutes right after you've just finished a solo session. Be honest with me. What's the default habit of 99% of us men in that moment? The excitement just ended, your body collapses like a snapped rubber band, your eyelids are heavy, and the most natural reflex at that moment is to drop your head to your pillow, pull up the covers, and sink immediately into sleep. You tell yourself, I just released some stress, my body needs rest, sleeping is the right thing to do. But no, brother, that's not rest. That's a catastrophic system crash. The harsh reality is that immediate sleep is exactly why you wake up the next morning not with the spirit of a warrior, but looking like a walking corpse. You feel foggy, headed, physically drained, completely lacking motivation to work, and worse, you look down at little brother and see him lifeless, as if he just went through a long illness. You're wondering why you're getting weaker? The answer lies in that rushed sleep. I know, right now, a resistance is rising in many of you brothers' minds. You'll push back immediately. Hold on, buddy. That sounds absurd. Why is it that when I'm intimate with my wife or girlfriend, I also roll over and sleep, but the next morning I feel refreshed, loving life, and full of vitality? Great question. And this is the biggest psychological trick that no one has thoroughly explained to you. The life or death difference lies in brain chemistry. Listen carefully. When you have real physical connection with a woman, your body is bathed in natural oxytocin and prolactin. These are the hormones of bonding, love, and healing. The sleep afterward has a restorative quality, restorative sleep. It's like a tonic for both soul and body. But when you take care of yourself alone in front of a cold phone screen, the story is completely different. Your brain does not release oxytocin. It only receives an extremely powerful dopamine hit, instant pleasure hormone. And immediately after that is a sudden crash to rock bottom. We call this the dopamine crash. When you sleep immediately in this dopamine system crash state, your brain falls into a state of extreme loneliness in the unconscious. But more dangerous is the physical aspect. When you lie still immediately, heart rate drops rapidly, blood that was circulating powerfully is suddenly slammed on the brakes. The byproducts of biological processes, toxins that need to be eliminated, instead of being expelled, get trapped in the cellular tissues. Especially, pay attention to your pelvic region. After releasing, your pelvic floor muscles are in an extremely contracted state. If you go to sleep immediately, you're locking that tension into your muscles for 8 straight hours. That's why many brothers experience dull lower back pain, difficulty urinating, or feel heavy in the lower region the next day. You're imprisoning your weapon in a prison of rigidity and stagnant blood. So what's our way out? Very simple, but it requires you to overcome that damn drowsiness. Apply the golden 15-minute rule. Immediately after finishing, even if your eyelids are closing, use what little willpower you have left to force yourself awake. Don't lie down. Consider getting up at this moment as an exercise in willpower training. Activate the flow. Stand up, walk gently around the room, open a window and breathe in fresh air, or go down to the kitchen and pour a large glass of water. This light movement helps maintain a stable heart rate, keeps blood flowing to sweep away residual toxins from your body. Balance the brain. These 15 minutes of being awake help your brain gradually land safely from the dopamine shock, instead of free falling into sleep in a hormone-deficient state. And here's the secret weapon I want to give specifically to brothers who've watched this far. The muscle release technique, reverse Kegel. Most men know how to clench, Kegel, but few know how to release. After finishing, instead of clenching, breathe deeply into your lower belly. Focus your mind on the pelvic floor area, between the testicles and anus, and imagine you're using your breath to gently push this muscle area to expand outward. Hold that expansion for 2 to 3 minutes. The sensation will be like you're releasing all the pressure that was compressed there. This action helps oxygen-rich blood return to irrigate and nourish the prostate twice as fast compared to going to sleep. Remember, the difference between a man in his prime and a weak man sometimes lies only in these 15 minutes of discipline. Don't run away into sleep anymore. Stand up, drink water, breathe, and take control of your body, brother. Mistake. #2. The cold shower trap. We move on to the second mistake. This is a subtle trap that even the most disciplined men, those who work out, play sports, and care most about health, frequently fall into. That's the habit of rushing into the shower and dousing yourself with ice-cold water immediately after finishing. Picture that moment again. You just completed the deed. You might be drenched in sweat, heart rate is racing, and a feeling of wanting to cleanse hits you. You want to shake off the sticky feeling, want to wake up immediately. And so you turn the faucet to the coldest setting, step in and think, perfect, cold showers increase testosterone, help steel the mind and train willpower. I'm doing something good for my body. I won't deny the benefits of cold showers, cold plunge, cold shower, for health training. But listen carefully, brother. Timing is everything. If you do this right after releasing, you're not training your body. You're punishing it brutally. Let me explain what's really happening inside your body at that moment. The very moment you just ejaculated, your body shifts into deep relaxation mode. At this time, the blood vessel system throughout your entire body, and especially the dense network of capillaries in the sensitive area, are in a state of maximum dilation. They had to expand to full capacity to pump a massive amount of blood to serve the erection process just now. The nerve endings are bare and at their most sensitive threshold. Imagine your little brother right now is like an F1 race car engine that just ran at full capacity at 186 miles per hour. It's red hot. The machine parts are expanded from heat. If you pour cold water on it right now, what happens? Local thermal shock. The dilated blood vessels will be forced to constrict suddenly and violently. Blood that was flowing powerfully to nourish cells is suddenly blocked, like you're sprinting and someone yanks your chain backward. This sudden temperature change creates enormous pressure on the vessel walls and spongy tissues. In-depth medical studies have shown that repeatedly causing thermal shock in this sensitive state can lead to microdamage to the structure of erectile tissues. Here's the question I want you to answer honestly, without hiding. Recently, when you look in the mirror, does it seem like the size of little brother, in his normal state flaccid, appears more shriveled and modest? Or when, going into battle, is the hardness no longer rock solid, no longer full and strong like in previous years? Don't rush to blame age or work stress. Very likely, this habit of showering cold at the wrong time is silently eroding your performance every day. You're inadvertently hardening and scarring your most important weapon with these unnecessary thermal shocks. So, what's the solution? Very simple, but requires you to shift your mindset from training to recovery. If you want to clean your body immediately after, please use warm water. Why warm water? Warm water is the key to maintaining blood vessel dilation. It helps oxygen and nutrient-rich blood continue to flow gently to the pelvic region to repair, nourish, and restore the cellular tissues that just worked hard. It helps tense muscles relax. Consider bathing at this time as a recovery massage therapy for your body, like athletes soaking in warm baths after competing. This is when you need to be gentle and cherish yourself. Engrave this mantra in your mind. Warm water for recovery, cold water for training. Don't confuse these two moments. If you want to take a cold shower to train your steel mind, save it for the next morning when you've fully recovered. But right now, protect your capital. Use warm water, brother. Mistake #3, the indulgence trap. We come to a mistake I call the trap of indulgence. Let's admit it, right after finishing, emptiness hits. And what's the natural reflex of many brothers? It's seeking something to fill that void immediately. You reach for a greasy slice of pizza, crack open a beer, or light a cigarette and take a long drag. You think you're rewarding yourself with a bit of relaxation? You think, ah, I just released stress. Let me add some good stuff to make it complete. But listen, brother, that's not a reward. That's a devastating combo punch you're delivering to your body at its weakest moment. Look at your biological control panel right now. Testosterone and dopamine, motivation hormones, are at rock bottom. Your defense system is wide open. If you inject nicotine, alcohol, or chemical sugars from fast food, at this time, what are you doing? You're kicking your hormone system into the abyss. Sugar and bad carbs will cause insulin to spike, causing metabolic disruption right when your body needs rest. Alcohol and booze. This is the most dangerous enemy. When testosterone is low, alcohol will promote the conversion process and increase estrogen, feminizing hormone, production. Are you afraid of getting a beer belly, sagging chest, or loose muscles? This habit is the culprit. The consequence is the next morning, you're not only physically exhausted, but also fall into a state of severe depression. The guilt combined with the drop in brain chemicals caused by junk food will turn you into a real loser. Why would you want to reward yourself for just losing energy? Why pour garbage into your body to recreate a body that needs recovery? That's the mindset of an addict, not a warrior. So, what's the action of a man with backbone? Respect your body. Instead of turning to alcohol or cigarettes, load up on things that help you regenerate ammunition and vitality. Water. Drink a large glass immediately to replenish the minerals and fluids just lost. Zinc and magnesium. Eat a handful of nuts, almonds, walnuts, or some fresh fruit. These foods contain zinc, the raw material for your body to naturally produce testosterone again. Remember this rule: restore energy like a king, don't destroy it like an addict. How you treat your body after stumbling will define who you are tomorrow. Put down the cigarette and drink water, brother. Mistake. Hash 4. The guilt trap. We arrive at an issue not located in the body, but deep in the mind. This is the fourth mistake, and it's the most terrifying demon for many brothers here. The feeling of guilt and torment. The guilt trap. Right after the excitement passes, instead of feeling relieved, a dark cloud descends. You sit there, looking at your hands and feeling dirty. You remember teachings about morality, about religion, about faith, and you start judging yourself. You tell yourself, why did I do this? I'm so weak, I'm sinning. That feeling is so heavy you want to hide from the whole world. But listen, brother, sitting there and berating yourself doesn't make you any cleaner. On the contrary, it's pushing you into a hell loop. Look at the issue from a biological perspective. When you feel guilty and afraid, the brain will send danger signals and stimulate the body to produce cortisol, the stress hormone. And you know who enemy hasson of testosterone, masculine hormone, is? It's cortisol. When cortisol rises due to your torment, it will directly suppress and kill the testosterone levels that desperately need recovery. What's the consequence? The more guilty you feel, the more stressed you get. The more stressed you are, the more your brain craves dopamine to relieve that sadness. And so you turn back to the old habit to escape reality. Sad is greater than do it, is greater than guilt, is greater than stress, is greater than want to do it again. That's why for years you've wanted to quit but couldn't. The passive guilt is feeding the addiction demon inside you. So what's the way out? Energy transmutation. Guilt, in essence, is an extremely powerful mental energy that's being compressed. Instead of letting it gnaw at your mind, release it outward through physical action. Right now, don't sit still praying in fear. Stand up immediately. Physical action. Drop to the floor and do 20 push-ups fast. Use that very anger at yourself to make your muscles work. When muscles tense up, endorphins will be produced and knock out cortisol. Mental action. Take out paper and pen or open phone notes. Write down honestly your emotions right now. I feel terrible because next time I will. When you write it out, you separate yourself from that demon. Meditation. Sit quietly for 2 minutes. Forgive yourself because you're human, and commit to doing better. Remember, turn regret into disciplinary strength. Don't sit there like a victim. Stand up like a warrior learning from his wounds. Mistake hash 5. The back-to-back trap. We arrive at the final mistake, and I must warn you first. This is the most brutal destroyer of men's health. That's the habit of doing it back-to-back. This scenario is all too familiar. You just finished round 1. Your body should need rest, but suddenly a whispering voice full of temptation echoes in your head. Hey, do it one more time. This time will be better. Find a better video. And so, even though your body is tired, you still force yourself to reload for round two, round three immediately. Brother, wake up right now! You're being fooled. This isn't real biological need. This is the chaser effect. When dopamine, pleasure hormone, starts withdrawing after round one, the brain panics from losing the feeling of excitement. It starts screaming, demanding you reload dopamine immediately. It tricks you into thinking you still have desire, but in reality, it's just your brain's drug craving. If you indulge it, what's the result? Be honest with me. Is round two ever as amazing as round one? Or does it only bring a feeling of soreness, blandness, and double the emptiness? You feel like a slave who can't control yourself. Physically, this is slow suicide. Your prostate just worked at full capacity to produce semen. It's congested. If you force it to work again immediately, without recovery time, you're squeezing it dry like wringing a dry sponge. This is the shortest path to chronic prostatitis, pelvic pain, and increased risk of benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, when you pass age 40. Are you willing to trade 10 years of future robust health for 5 minutes of bland pleasure now? The solution here isn't a trick, it's iron discipline. Establish the recovery rule. After each release, you must give your body absolute rest for at least 24 to 48 hours. This is the minimum time for testosterone to recover to baseline levels and for the prostate to reduce congestion. Consider this a test of your backbone. When the chaser effect voice echoes demanding round two, stand up, turn off the computer, go outside and say, no. Remember this. If you can't even control your own desires, what do you expect in controlling your life and destiny? Discipline creates strength. Start preserving it today. Dear brothers, remember this well. A man's journey is not defined by the times he stumbles, but by how he stands up afterward. The small habits we just exposed, from falling asleep immediately, showering cold incorrectly, to tormenting yourself, are the silent killers, eroding your health and confidence every day. Don't let 5 minutes of fleeting pleasure trade away 10 years of future performance. You deserve a robust body, a steel mind, and a real relationship out there, not loneliness in a dark room. Right now, I want you to take these 3 specific actions to start changing. Action 1. Hydrate and move. Right after this video, stand up and drink a large glass of water. Walk gently and breathe deeply for 5 minutes. Don't let toxins accumulate. Wash them clean. Action 2. The 48-hour discipline challenge. Commit to yourself. No releasing again for the next 48 hours. Give your prostate and testosterone levels time to regenerate. This is the first test of your backbone. Action 3. Join the community. If you're sick of living lonely and want to upgrade yourself to become more attractive, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications immediately. On this channel, we don't just talk about physical health. We talk about building a man with backbone from the inside out. Don't fight alone anymore. Leave a comment, I commit, below so I know you're ready to change. See you warriors in the next video. Keep the discipline strong.